So at the end of turn 5 here, we are going to rearm and refuel our planes. So all these planes that were under the deck have refueled. And that would be where all my out of fuel markers are. These dive bombers will rearm. And these torpedo bombers, just like that over there, will put torpedoes on. So they're going to be more effective with torpedoes than they will be with bombs. These carrier is now on the board. It's a light carrier, so it only has an operational value of 2, so it can only launch 2 planes at a time. Nothing to rearm. The next thing is to clear the decks, so they didn't launch. So we'll just move them down, move that over, move them down, and then they'll refuel, and they refuel and rearm. So those dive bombers on Midway, 4 of them are rearmed, but they can only launch 1 at a time, so it doesn't seem like a very good use of 1 token. That is the end of turn 5. We're on to turn 6 now. And at the beginning we check victory. It's just 1-0 Japan. Command tokens, US is -1. Reinforcements, Japan cannot bring in reinforcements because their sea zone where they come in has ships. So a land aircraft. So we're going to land these fighters. And because we're landing them, we're going to put that out of fuel marker there. Alright, so the Hornet is landing its fighters. These 2 transport planes, patrol aircraft, they're out of fuel. So this one will get the launch. I'll put it on the map actually so I remember. But I won't remember. I'll forget. Alright, that is it. We are now on to the map for conduct search operations, turn 6. Alright, so Japan is first to do some shadowing in Sea Zone 17. They get 1 more dice. Oh, they don't need it. 12 to 9. Alright. So let's shadow here in Sea Zone 12. Got to have a Japan roll. And they fail. Japan wins. So this guy is out and they are hidden again. Shadowing this task force on the south side with the cruisers and destroyers. They keep shadowing there. Alright, so the new search is this battleship task force here in Sea Zone 9 and 11. So not good luck. I don't have any more fuel markers again. Alright, so tokens. Japan has 2 for their reinforcements they brought in, and these are free, and they also move for free, I think, too, but I just brought them in, so I can't move this turn. Alright, so we draw our US. They failed there, so they can't attack. They don't have anything in range here. So they will launch from the blue carrier, which is the Enterprise. And they will come out 1, 2, 3. Now the downside is there's nothing, I guess they can attack that. These carriers, they won't be able to find them next turn. Well, that's not, no, he's going away, They're more than 2 away. Alright, so inopportune moment actually for the US to launch their planes. Alright, so the next one is the US. Well, I guess we'll do that because I think I'm going to leave those planes on the carriers the best I can. We'll make that attack there. There's the medal. Alright, so Japan didn't get a turn other than bringing in their reinforcements. They attack at a 2. So they have 2 dice, 1 for each bomber at 2. and they missed. So now they have to return to base, but the good news is they can be used as patrol aircraft now. So that'll help the U.S. down the road, but for now it does nothing. All right, return to base. So we've got this patrol aircraft and this patrol aircraft going back to Midway. And these guys, no, they just dropped their bombs, so they don't go back till next turn. All right, these guys were all in mode, so they go back to this carrier. Well, they all go back to the same carrier. That's good news. And we are going to burn fuel markers. So this torpedo bomber is out of fuel. This one goes to 1. Conducting search operations, the Japan is going to launch its transport. That's the second time in a row I've said that. Patrol aircraft, 1, 2. The U.S. will launch this one from Midway and come up here. 1, oh, no, can only go to there. Alright, so that's the launches. We've got a shadow here and a shadow there. So Japan will shadow first, and they maintain contact. Now the U.S. will shadow down here, and they maintain contact. Alright, well that's not good for that carrier group in the south. Or not carrier group, but the cruiser group. Now we are executing our command tokens. If you remember, US is down 1, but they get to go first. So obviously these dive bombers will come in here and attack this cruiser group. Bombers are out. Alright, so I wanted to hit this battleship group, but we lost contact with that. So, alright, so the next is Japan. Alright, so Japan can move. And we're going to move this group here in the south in the transports. So we're going to make our run to Midway, try and get some victory points. And that's what keeps the game really unique, because you don't get all your moves. You just don't get them. So you got to choose the right ones and set them up in the right order. So I'll put those tokens back. We've got 1 attack here on these cruisers. Alright, so my battery died in the other camera, so I am going to continue with this. This was the only combat move. This was the U.S. dive bombers, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, and they were coming in on that cruiser and destroyer group in the south, which was C Zone 27. So I will do this combat. I'll move the returning aircraft on there, finish the carrier ops, and we'll start with turn 7 probably tomorrow. And then, well, I might edit all this and see how long that takes. But turn 7 will definitely be tomorrow or later. So here we go. We got to roll to see where the U.S. planes come in. They come in at 12. So bad news for the U.S. They only have the option of hitting 1 destroyer or 1 cruiser, because they would have needed to come into this top zone to hit these 2 cruisers. So there's 1 cruiser available, so there's no destroyer there. So the anti-aircraft, these 5 bombers come in, and we'll assume we're going to lose 1, right? Anti-aircraft from the cruiser, I believe, is 2 at 3. I'm going to have to reach here in front of the camera and pull out the sheet. Heavy cruiser is 2 at 3. So 2 at 3, they get nothing. Alright, so the U.S. has 5 at 8, and they just need 1 hit to get a cruiser, right? Look at the cruiser hit points. Oh no, it takes 2 hits to sink a cruiser. Alright, so they got to have 2 hits. They got 3, so 1 Japanese cruiser is down. So what that means is grab my order here, order of play. The end of the combat, after we resolve the attacks, is score victory points. So the U.S. gets 1 victory point for the cruiser. So if the game ended now, it would be a tie at 1-1. We will return planes to base and burn fuel on the map. And then let me move this out of the way, and I'll put those back on the map. We'll bring our carrier drops card down here. I went too far, didn't I? Not sure how I got out of alignment, but I'll fix that later. Alright. So, assuming we've done that on the map, return to base, burn fuel, rearm and refuel. So these will be refueled. And then we're going to clear the decks. So none of these launched, so they go back down. I forgot to bring those over. So all these would have landed, and then they'd be out of fuel and out of bombs, and I will adjust that at the end of the turn so that they have landed on both those carriers. Here they land, but they are out of fuel. They land, but they are out of fuel. Alright, so the decks have been cleared, and now we will start with turn 7 at the next time that we get together.